make it pop, make that pistol pop.
The argument for child support has been around for over 50 years now, and the most common thing you'll hear from the proponents of it is it's for the benefit of the children. Yet, as we see in this video, more often than many people want to admit, it never reaches the children. Instead, the moms who collect it use it for themselves, and they have no problem flexing on the internet and bragging about it, as we've seen here. Why? Because there's absolutely no accountability for where that money goes, which is one of the reasons why fathers get so upset about it. Imagine if you're the man paying this woman child support and she's out on the internet bragging about how she took that money, did not use it for the children, and spent it on herself to get her hair done, of all things. Not for food, not for housing, not to pay her utility bills. No, to get her hair done, to make herself look and feel better. Which is why men get so upset about it. And the solution is quite simple. You see, most states now collect the money. They get it from the fathers through withholding on their paychecks or various other means. It goes into state coffers, and in most states, it is then sent to the mothers, once the state's gotten their portion of it, via things like EBT cards, which can then be used to pay the bills or necessities of the child. Which means in many cases, the states know where that money is going. The solution is quite simple. Use those cards, track the spending, and ensure that it is being spent on things that are for the child. Implement the same safeguards that are used when someone is on welfare and the money is put on EBT cards, and then that spending tracked. Give access to that tracking to the courts and to the fathers so that they can then verify that that money is indeed being spent on the child. The systems are already in place to do it. It would be very easy to implement. Yet, as we've seen, while we want to hold the dads accountable, calling them deadbeats if they don't pay, we don't want to hold the mothers accountable that the money is actually used on the children. Which is why you'll never see this implemented and why the women's groups will do everything they can to fight it. They do not want there to be any accountability to the moms. Now, in this particular case, if I was the man paying that support, I would take that video to the judge and I would play it in the courtroom and ask the judge, why is there no accountability? Why is the money being spent on her hair? Now, the honest truth is the judge is probably not going to do a damn thing about it. He'll argue his hands are tied. There's no legal statute anywhere that shows the money has to be spent on the children. And her or her attorney will argue that, well, she's already paid that money to take care of the children and she's just reimbursing herself. It's the tired, age-old arguments they've made for decades now, when the reality is they're spending the money on themselves. As I said, there's a very easy solution, but you're never going to see it implemented. Why? Because it is not about the best interest of the children. It is not about making sure the children are fed or clothed or have a roof over their heads. For the states, it's about getting the reimbursement through Title 4D, the nice fat check they get from the federal government each and every year for collecting the child support and giving it to the mothers. And part of that money goes towards funding things like judges' retirement. None of them are going to upset the apple cart. Politicians don't want to hear it. The judicial and legal system doesn't want to hear it. They all just want to keep milking that cash cow. And in the end, who's the ones that are really getting hurt? The children. Because instead of that money being spent on a nutritious meal for the children or to keep a roof over their head, it went towards something that benefits the children in no way, shape, or form. Mom's hair.